Hello everyone, in this video let us talk about NavIC, the Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System. So for the past few days there is a lot of discussion around NavIC, which is an Indian Regional Navigational Satellite System. So I thought let us spend some time trying to understand what exactly is NavIC and how it can affect or how it can be useful for people, especially living in India. So I've done some research and I'll probably share the notes, and I I believe this will also be really useful for anyone who is just trying to understand what is NavIC. And I think as an Indian, or maybe I think all across the world, people should be aware of this new navigational system, which is of course relevant mostly for India and the surrounding regions. So first of all, what exactly is NavIC? So we have to understand what is NavIC. And by the way, NavIC is a short form of navigation with Indian Constellation. And the NavIC is nothing but the operational name that ISRO, the organization who developed NavIC, they use this operational name because whenever you see any mobile phone supporting this technology, they will use the word NavIC. But the real name is Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System. So this is something that I thought we should probably clear. And phones with compatible chipsets will use NavIC as the first preference before using GPS. Now this is really important because when you are using your mobile phone for navigation purpose, maybe you're driving, maybe you're trying to find your way, or maybe you are using an app that uses the location-based services, you will notice that it takes maybe few seconds to find your location. It is not really like a lot of time, but it can take maybe 15 seconds, maybe 30 seconds to first locate your mobile phone, and then of course it will become probably a bit more accurate when you leave your phone or when you're probably outside. So the phones with the compatible chipsets, and when I say compatible chipsets, I'm talking about chipsets that will be developed with the support for NavIC. And if there is a phone using those chipsets, they will first use NavIC. And this is really important for someone using that phone, because that will mean that the phones with this particular chipset will be really fast as compared to the traditional GPS. Now, this is really important because this system is actually a regional navigation system that works, of course, for India, but it has some range. So if you look at this diagram, there are some regions around India, like there is a region of like 1500 kilometers or 930 miles, where the satellites will be able to, of course, pick up those. I mean, anyone in this region can use this system. Now, right now there are 7 satellites launched by ISRO, of course, and these satellites are right now using or supporting the NavIC system. But the plan is to increase the constellation size from 7 to 11. So this is something that we can be proud of, that this is a project which is ongoing, and it is already used. It is already being used, but the improvements will be done in future as well. Now, what are the benefits of NavIC? As I mentioned before, it is much more accurate than GPS. So GPS has, GPS is, it is still accurate, but it has like the accuracy of 20 meters. But the NavIC will be even more accurate. So it will basically, the accuracy of NavIC based or NavIC technology is 5 to 10 meters, which is really good. And this is really happening with the help of the dual frequency support. So NavIC works on S and L band. So if you want to know more about the dual frequency, you can do your research online. I don't really want to spend too much time talking about why it will be faster, but this is the short answer. And it will be accurate, and it will be definitely much faster than GPS. And since this system is focused for Indian region, you can expect a better navigation when you're using your phone, and when you're driving, when you are probably trying to find your way, you will be able to, of course, use the navigation on your phone with great speed and accuracy. So this is really a good news for people in India. Now, there are some processors that have started supporting NavIC. So let me just go through the list of those processors. I've given a list here. You can click on the links and you will be taken to the actual processor. The page where you can know more about the processors, and also I'll talk about few mobile phones. So the first processor that not really the first to have this feature, but the first in my list is Snapdragon 720G processor from Qualcomm, and this processor is something that you can find in Realme 6 Pro, which is, I believe, already available in the Indian market. It will also be available in, this chipset is also there in Redmi Note 9 Pro Max. So these two phones will be using NavIC based technology. The other processor is a Snapdragon 865 5G. So this is something that you can find in Realme X50 Pro, which is again another mobile from Realme. And there are few other chipsets that will have, or that can support NavIC, and that is Snapdragon 662 and Snapdragon 460. So these are some of the chipsets that will have the NavIC based technology. It can support NavIC, and any mobile with these chipsets, and of course if it is of course enabled for the region, especially in India, and if of course there is a software update as well, or if there is a the software also has to support, because I believe there are some phones that are already there in the market that can potentially support NavIC, but it has to be first updated. So there should be one software update maybe in the next few weeks or months, I don't know. But the whole idea or the whole point of me talking about NavIC is that I think it is really important for anyone who is using a mobile phone in India. And I think you can be you should be feeling a lot proud of the ISRO, the Indian Space Research Organization, and there are not many countries with their own satellite system. So GPS is of course one of them. There is also one system by Russian space agency. China, I believe, also has their own. But I think now we can be proud that even India also has its own regional navigation satellite system called NavIC. So this is all I wanted to share in this video. I hope you learned something new today and you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you very much.